Hi everyone, welcome back to DIY with Dewey. So today I was driving around and I was stopped at a stoplight to make a left-hand turn, and some lady came up behind me and rear-ended me in the M6. So it was kind of raining at the time and I wasn't able to take a good look at the car, and I looked at it real quick and I was like, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. So I went ahead and did my good deed. I let her go without getting her insurance info. But then when I got home, I wiped down the car and I noticed the car is kind of damaged. A couple little things. So here, let me show you. So if you can see right here, there's a long crease. The bumper is dented. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of tricky because if you look at the reflection, that's how you can really see it. It's on black paint. So it's a little tricky, but you can see there's a little crease right there where the reflection is changing. This popped off, but it doesn't look like it broke or anything. And this got pushed in and I believe it broke the clip. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove my back bumper and take a look at it. Maybe I can pop it back in place. But let's go ahead. This is gonna be a step-by-step tutorial on how to push that back in and remove the back bumper on an E64 BMW M6, 2006 to 2010. Let's get started. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our T30 Torx bit and a ratchet. So these are T30. So this is an aftermarket radar detector. And this was on there when I purchased the vehicle. I'm going to remove the little thumb screws to get this off. Let's go ahead and grab our 8mm socket with a ratchet. Looks like a whole bunch of 8mm bolts. Alright, so this is near the exhaust on the right side. I'm laying the phone flat down on the ground and it's looking up. 8mm. Yeah, 8mm. So we have a lot of these little bolts. There's one on the other side as well. A lot of rocks in this car in the back bumper. Let's remove the 4 8mm bolts that are on the right side of the bumper. 4 bolts. One down here, so it's all the way around. So I'm gonna try to do it without removing my rear wheel. So it looks like still a whole bunch of 8mm. One. This one's kind of close, so I'm gonna take off the extension. All right, that's 2 screws. There's another one. There's another one right here. And this one is pointed this way. So I'm gonna use my extension. All right. 1, 2. So there's one more right here. So this should just pop right out. There we go. So that just kind of clipped in. So we tugged at that, and then it's just a whole bunch of little clips right there. There should be no, it's just a whole bunch of clips up there, so no screws to worry about. Let's remove the 4 8mm bolts on the left-hand side of the bumper. And now we have to do the same thing to the other side. 4 screws on this side. Alright, so I don't really want my bumper to fall onto the ground. I don't want it to get scratched up, so I have a mover's blanket. I'm just going to lay it under. I have it kind of underneath. If the bumper does fall off, hopefully. Hopefully it lands on. All right, one screw out. And you just can't go along the wheel well. There's 1, 2, 3 more. So the other ones, there's not enough space because the tires here. So we'll take off our little extension. Alright, so we got those screws out. This should pop out. So just tug on it until this pops out. And be really careful. Okay, there's 2 plastic push pins on each side of the bumper on the bottom. So if you crawl underneath, you look up, you'll see them. So underneath the car, there's also little push pins. Right. Hopefully you can see. So we need a flathead. Let's get the flathead and we'll carefully pry the plastic tab, plastic pin, and remove the plastic tab. All right, let's go ahead and go to the other side and remove that same plastic tab, the plastic push pin. And it's in the same spot on the other side as well. Okay, so we've removed all the screws and the 2 plastic pins. So let's go ahead and pull off the bumper. All right, so we got the bumper off. It's getting a little dark, but we're able to pull off the bumper. Unfortunately, my camera stopped recording while I was pulling off the bumper, but you just tug at that side and then tug at the middle and then tug on the left side and it pops off. Then you have this little connector that you have to unhook. It goes to the reverse sensor. This wire is not really long enough, so you have to unhook it from there. All right, well, that's pretty much it. We were able to remove our bumper. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm gonna reattach the parking sensor and then reattach the bumper. I'm gonna remove the reverse sensor. And then right now I'm gonna go ahead and grab the alcohol and a microfiber cloth to clean, basically get off all the dirt and everything and figure out why it's not securing correctly. All right, so what it looks like is the plastic is broken around that bumper. So what I'm gonna use is mounting tape, 3M mounting tape, to secure the sensor once I pop it back in. So I'll cut a little piece of mounting tape, and then I'm gonna remove the red protective film on the double-sided tape. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and test fit it real quick and see where I'm gonna apply this. Let's put it right there on top. And we only need about halfway just to help it secure. There we go. And then we don't want too much on there because we want the double-sided mounting tape to be kind of hidden and invisible once it's pushed in and installed correctly. There we go. So a little bit of tape is showing, so I'm going to go ahead and wedge it in with my fingernail. I'm stretching it a little, so there we go. Alright, well, that looks pretty good. And it seems pretty close to being even. Hopefully it doesn't shift anywhere. But go ahead and clean it a little. Alright. Alright, so that's what it looks like from behind. Right there, you can see the little tape a little bit, but it's not too bad. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and mount the back bumper back onto the vehicle. So I'm kind of levitating it a little closer so that I can connect the connector. The reverse connector wire is really short, so then I lift it up. Now it's plugged in, so now I have to line up the full bumper. Make sure it clears the exhaust tips. There we go. So then right when it clears the exhaust tips, I push it on. So right now just the back is clicked in near the trunk. This side is still not on correctly, so I'm gonna go ahead and press it in. And just be really careful so you don't dent your rear quarter panel. Make sure it lines up nicely. All right, that side's pressed in. And we'll go ahead and make sure everything lines up. I'm gonna go on to the other side and also make sure the other side lines up correctly. All right, putting another push pin. All right, mosquitoes are bad. I'm gonna have to spray bug spray. So we have 4 screws over here. Alright, that's 3 screws. Trying to see where the other one is. All right, 4 screws. All right. So this side's completely on. 4 screws for the other side. Right here. Let's start with the bottom. All right, it's starting to rain a little. I'm gonna go ahead and close my trunk. It's just a whole bunch of clips along the trunk liner. Alright, let's go ahead and finish putting these bolts. So three of them are the same on the bottom. Alright, I'm gonna go put the longer bolt up top. So they're pretty evenly spaced. If you look under here, you'll see the other screw hole right there, and then there. Do you see those two more in the middle? Last screw on this side. Okay. Alright, so these 4 screws are on. Those will pop in place. 2 screws left. So I'm trying to do this laying down one-handed. Let's see. Alright, this is the last screw. That it got so dark so fast because I got hit right at like 4 o'clock, and then by the time I had to finish my errands and get home, I only had about an hour of daylight. All right, the bumper's back on. That's it. So there's actually only a few screws. It was pretty easy to remove the back bumper. It doesn't look like it lines up very well. Okay, so we still have 2 more screws to put in for the license plate. All right, that's pretty much it. It's dark out here, but I got it done. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe down the car and park it in their garage.